In Changshan County, there lived an old man surnamed An who enjoyed farming. In autumn, when the buckwheat in the fields was ripe, it was all harvested and gathered at the edge of the field, waiting to be threshed and stored. Since people from nearby villages often stole crops, Old Man An hired some people to load the crops onto carts at night and transport them to the threshing ground. He himself stayed up all night guarding the fields to prevent theft, leaning on his spear even while napping. One deep night, just as he was about to rest, he heard someone stepping on the crop stalks, rustling towards the nearby area. Thinking someone had indeed come, he grabbed his spear, ready to catch the thief. But it was not a person who came, it was a huge, terrifying ghost with red hair and a twisted beard approaching him. Terrified, Old Man An, not knowing what else to do, bravely leapt up and stabbed at the ghost, and to his surprise, he struck it. Injured, the ghost roared and ran away. Old Man An, too scared to stay, cautiously took his spear and went home. On the way, he met the hired workers returning from the threshing ground and told them everything that had happened. Though they were half doubtful, they also did not dare venture to the field's edge. The next day, while everyone was sunning the buckwheat at the threshing ground, suddenly a voice came from the sky. An panicked and shouted, "The ghost is coming," and started to run, with everyone else following in fright. Later, they discussed that continuing this way was no solution, so they prepared many bows and arrows to keep at hand while working and staying on alert. Another day passed, and the ghost indeed came again. The workers fired their crossbows in unison, and the ghost fled in disarray, bringing peace for several days. The buckwheat was safely stored in the granary, and some leftover stalks and leaves remained on the threshing ground. Old Man An had people gather them into a few feet high stack. Climbing on top, he began to compress the stalk stack with his feet. Suddenly, he looked into the distance and shouted, "The ghost is coming again." Hearing this, everyone hurriedly looked for their bows and arrows, but by the time they found them, the ghost had already charged at Old Man An. When the workers got to him with their bows, the ghost had already pounced on the old man, bitten off a chunk of his skull, and left. Everyone came to check on Old Man An. A palm-sized piece of his skull was bitten off, blood was flowing, and he was unconscious. After being taken home, he soon passed away. Since then, no one has seen that ghost again, nor does anyone know what it really was.